my name's Liz, I'm the baker that sews. Welcome to my channel if you're new and welcome back if you are a subscriber. As always, it's really lovely to have you here as I share my sewing journey. So welcome back to my channel. So today is going to be one of my Sunday sewing catch-ups and we're on episode 75. I have got things that I've been sewing for other people to share with you, got a couple of things I've made for myself. I've got lots of sewing plans. I want to sew lots and lots of different projects. I've got one piece, well actually two pieces of fabric to share with you and a couple of patterns. So before I dive into all of that, I'll let you know what I'm wearing. And I'm wearing quite an old make. I think I made this probably about 3 years ago when I first started sewing, maybe 4 years ago. I feel like I made this a really long time ago. Anyway, it's the Paper Theory Zadie jump. I've got quite a few of the Zadie jumpsuits, and when I had a wardrobe sort out a few weeks ago, I dug out all of my old Zadies, and this is one of my favourite Zadie jumpsuits. I absolutely love this fabric. It's got peacock print all over it. It's absolutely gorgeous, and I love these colours together. I love that purple with the green. So yeah, the Zadie is a wrap style jumpsuit with this crossover detail. It's got lovely deep pockets, and then you've got the tie detail here. And then the trousers are quite wide fitted. So yeah, the trousers are quite wide fitting. And then you've got the option to keep it short sleeves, or you probably can't tell because this fabric's super busy, but there is an extra pattern piece to make it sort of 3/4 length, and that's what I've got on today. With everything that I talk about, where possible, I link patterns and fabric down below, and then I'll also try and put pictures in of me wearing the things that I talk about, or pictures of the things that I just refer to as well. I think I've got one pattern I'm going to talk about where I haven't actually got the instructions printed out, so I will put line drawings and images in of the pattern so you know what pattern I'm talking about. So I always like to start with what I've been sewing this week, and I didn't film a Sunday sewing catch up last weekend because we had a St George's Day event local to me, and my husband and I attended, and it was a really lovely community event to be part of. Had lots and lots of cakes that I'd been busy baking the day before, so I put some pictures in so you can see what they look like. And if you follow me over on Instagram, I always try and share little snippets of cakes and things when I've got a market or an event coming up. So that was really fun, but it meant that I just didn't have any time because I spent the whole day, well, pretty much the whole day on the Saturday baking, and then the Sunday we were at the St George's Day parade thing, like pretty much. I think it was 9 till, it was supposed to go until 6, but we sold out around 4 o'clock. So it was about 9 o'clock from setup. And then the parade was 12 to 1. And that was amazing. There's always local schools that come along, and there's a band. Yeah, there was a band. There's some amazing like old cars and motorcycles and things. It's just a really lovely thing to be part of. So that happened. And then it was just super busy. So we managed to get home a little bit earlier. So I didn't get to film a Sunday sewing catch up last weekend, but I have been busy sewing lots of different things for all the different challenges that are running at the moment. So I've talked about these challenges before. There seems to be 3 that are running that end today. So it's the 30th of April. So they end today. Today's the last day to enter. The first one is the Sew in April blouse. So we're being encouraged to sew a blouse throughout the month of April, and then share using the hashtag SewAprilBlouse23. So I've got a blouse to share with you. I have finished my blouse. I wasn't sure if I'd get time to get it sewn up, but I managed to finish it yesterday. And then the other challenge that I've taken part in is the Selfless Sew challenge that's happening over on Instagram at the moment. So I've been sewing for other people. The things that I've been sewing for other people are kind of accessories, so I'll talk about those as well. And then the other challenge I was hoping to take part in, but I've just run out of time, is the Sew Recreate the Look. So I had 2 ideas for the Sew Recreate the Look. The first one was a jumper based on an aesthetic laundry tassel jumper. So I've still got plans to get that cut out and sewn up. I'm hoping I'll get some time this afternoon, but I won't be able to enter into that. That's the sort of challenge that's running on Instagram. And then the other one that I wanted to sew up was this like colour blocked coat based on a children's coat pattern that I'd seen in Next. And I still am figuring out like the finer details of that sort of challenge. I'm still figuring out some of the details about how I go about creating that coat, and that's something that I don't want to rush into. So I've just accepted that you can't take part in everything all of the time, so I won't sadly be able to take part in the Sew Recreate the Look challenge on Instagram, but I'm still going to be making those projects because I'm still really excited about both of them. So let's start with the blouse, I think. So I'd shared this incredible fabric from Sew Me Sunshine. I'd had it in my stash for ages. There's sort of quite a big patch of the fabric. It was amazing, really gorgeous, lightweight. I want to say it's a viscose. It's got a lovely sort of sheen to it as well. So maybe it's a satin viscose. I'd shared it on my channel, not quite sure what blouse to turn it into. Really didn't have a clue like what pattern would work really well with that amazing print, because I wanted to showcase as much of that print as possible. And so many people suggested the Tilly and the Buttons, Marnie, blouse and dress. Now I only had 1.5 meters of this fabric, so I wasn't sure if I would be able to squeeze out the Marnie from the 1.5 meters of fabric, but I did manage to do it. So I've sewn up the Tilly and the Buttons, Marnie blouse, and you can also sew up a dress. I absolutely love this pattern. I've sewn a couple of versions and I think it suits this fabric so nicely. I went for the option that has got the I think they're called pin tucks across the bodice and then also across the sleeve detail, and it's just a really lovely sort of extra feature. And then you've also got this gorgeous like ruffle that runs down the front, and then it also runs down the back. And then I think you're meant to do a little like button loop on the back and then a button, but I just extended the bias binding and I've done a little tie detail on the back instead. I'll put pictures in of me wearing this. It's going to be super tricky to show you. But yeah, you've got this yoke detail on the front, which has got the pin tucks, and you can choose not to put the pin tucks on if you don't want to. And then this front panel is gathered into the yoke, and then you've got the ruffle, which is sandwiched between a side pattern piece on either side. And then on the back, you've got this yoke detail as well. And then that ruffle carries on into the back. And then the back panel is gathered into the yoke as well. And then, like I said, I've finished it with bias binding. So I've got this cute little bow instead of a button. And then the sleeve, you can have pin tucks, as you can see there. And then it's got this really gorgeous sort of voluminous part to the pattern as well. And then you finish it with elastic on the end. And that just creates this gorgeous volume. And it just works so nicely with this fabric. This fabric is so drapey and it moves so beautifully. And this fabric and this blouse, now that I've sewn it up, I could just see it going with the True Bias Riley dungarees that I sewed up in the lilac corduroy. And I've just got them here. I just thought that lilac would go so nicely with all of the colours in that blouse. And I did manage to get some photos of me wearing this jumpsuit or dungaree set with this gorgeous blouse. So I'm really, really pleased with that. So thank you to everybody that suggested the Marnie pattern. I think it's worked so nicely with that blouse. So yeah, this is the Marnie pattern by Tilly and the Buttons. So you can sew up this gorgeous blouse or you can sew up the dress. I've sewn up a couple of the dresses, and the blouse that I've just shown you is my first version as a blouse, but I've definitely got plans for a few more. Just love everything about it. I think it's absolutely gorgeous. So the Marnie comes in sizes UK 6 to 34, and it's aimed at improver sewists. There are some line drawings, so you can see those lovely pin tucks on the sleeves and also on the bodice. And then there's also an option to add, you can just about make it out on this lilac version, a ruffle on the collar. Now I haven't done that because I'm not a massive fan of like a really high neck. I don't really like too many garments feeling quite close around my neck. So let me see if I can find some information about the pattern. It's a really, really enjoyable pattern to sew up. So it's got a breezy smock style bodice with princess seams and gentle gathering under the yokes, dreamy optional undulating tucks on the front yoke and sleeves, round neckline finished with bias binding with the optional ruffle collar, optional shoulder ruffles for extra drama, two-piece full-length bishop sleeves and elasticated hem, keyhole back opening with button and loop. But like I said, I've just extended the bias binding. And then choice of blouse or mini dress hem lengths. In terms of fabric suggestions, if you're doing the tucks, they recommend lightweight woven fabrics which press well, like a cotton lawn, voile, poplin, Swiss dot, seersucker, double gauze, chambray. Versions without tucks would also be lovely in a broderie anglaise, viscose or tencel lyocell. So what I will say is the tucks were a bit fiddly in this fabric, because this fabric, you can just see it here, moves so beautifully, and it's got a bit of a sheen to it. I don't know if you're going to be able to see that, but it's got a bit of a sheen to it, so it just meant the fabric was super slippery. So the tucks were quite fiddly and a little bit tricky with this fabric. But I'm really pleased that I persevered with them, because I think they work really nicely, and they just give a really subtle detail on the front and then also on the sleeve as well. I really love that detail on the sleeve. So that's the first thing that I've got sewn up, and I've been sewing that up over the course of about 2 weeks. So it's taken me quite a while because I've had to just do it bit by bit. And then I had, oh, it's here. I had, inspired by the dress that I made for the new Craft House party, I'll put a picture in now, which was this like pattern clashing, fabric mixed kind of patchworky sort of voluminous indigo-y type dress. You'll see what I mean when you see the images. And I used lots of different florals to make a dress that was fit for a 70s themed party, and I absolutely loved everything about that dress. But that meant that I had, excuse me, it meant that I had lots of offcuts of the floral fabrics and a few sort of larger panel pieces, a few smaller pieces. So I thought I would try and play around with the fabrics again and see if I could create another kind of pattern clashing dress. So I had enough fabric to have a go at sewing up the dress version of the Marnie by Tilly and the Buttons, using all the different offcuts of fabric that I had. And you might not be able to tell because the fabric is super busy, but some of the pattern pieces are actually pieces of the fabric pieced together to make a larger piece of fabric so that I could cut out the pattern pieces. And an example, you're not going to be able to see at all, but an example would be, there's a very subtle line going across the bodice, the yoke on the front. So we've got the tucks that I've sewn, but then there's a line where two pieces of fabric have joined, and you'll see it better on the inside where you've got the overlocker stitching, and then you've got the tucks directly underneath. So I've got a few pieces of fabric that are like that. Like, again, you're probably not going to be able to see because it's super busy, but there's a line there where I've pieced a couple of pieces of this fabric together so that I've got enough for the yoke on the back of the dress as well. I love this. I think it's really cute. I know not everybody's going to like all the different fabrics that have been sort of paired together, but I had a lot of this fabric left. I had a fair amount of this fabric left and this fabric, and then I had quite a lot of this sort of pale blue rose print fabric as well. So where I had the larger pieces, they were the larger pattern pieces, and where I had the smaller pieces, that's where I've used it for the bias tape on the neckline, or I've used it for like the yoke, or I've used it for the ruffle or some of the sleeve. So if I hold it up, you'll be able to see what it looks like. And but I particularly really love this top part with this gorgeous sort of larger floral ruffle, and then you've got this pink and orange on the yoke at the front, and then that goes into the sleeve detail. I really love that. And then you've got that orange floral on the lower half of the sleeve, and then you've got that sort of floral heart detail, and then the pale blue and pink on either side. And then on the back you've got the orange, which kind of is a sort of a nod to the sleeve, and then you've got that ruffle detail that comes around the back, and then you've got the same fabric that you had on the front for the panel as the back. I'm really pleased with this. I think it's going to be a really cute summer dress with a pair of sandals and maybe a cardigan on as well. I will put some images in if I get chance to get some photos taken today. I'll put some images in of me wearing this dress just so you can see what it looks like. But yeah, it was an experiment. I think it really works, and I really love that top half. I still love the bottom half, but I just in particular think those fabrics work really nicely together, and then the same on the back as well. So a bit of an experiment, but a really cute summer dress. And then all the other things I've been sewing up have been for the Selfless Sew Challenge. So I talked about, a few weeks ago, I talked about using the Nina Lee hair bow pattern. So I sewed up some larger ones. They're just up here for Lola. She really loves this one with the tigers on. And then we've got these ones. And then I had a go at trying to reduce the size of the bow, and I've sewn her up a really cute, like quite tiny one in comparison to the bigger one, and I just kept on reducing the size of the pattern pieces until I was happy. It was a bit of an experiment, to be honest, until I was happy with the size of the pattern pieces. It was more fiddly to sew up this one because the pattern pieces obviously got a lot smaller, but I really love that one, and Lola really loves that one too. And I talked about using a pattern by, I think it was Bobbins and Buttons, I think it was their blog, to sew up a couple of crunchies. To sew up a couple of scrunchies, not crunchies, and here they are. So I've got a lemon print one using a fat quarter from So Hilly Jane, and then a tiger one using fat quarter from So Hilly Jane, and then I've used this fabric and this fabric to sew up some headbands as well. So they're very cute. My hair's not long enough really. I mean, I could tie it up, but I wouldn't really wear my hair tied up unless I was decorating a cake or something. So these aren't for me, these are for Lola, and I know that she's going to really enjoy using those. And then got a little bit carried away sewing up headbands. Lola went through my fat quarters and my fabric stash, and she's chosen quite a lot of fabrics, and then I thought, whilst I'm making headbands, I'll make myself a couple. So I've got a yellow gingham dress that is colour blocked with lemon gingham and then lime gingham. So I've made myself a knotted headband. That is for me, so that's not selfless sewing, but whilst I was making them I thought I might as well sew myself a few up. And I really love how cute these headbands are. I really love that wide effect, that sort of wide band, even though the headband that's on the inside, I was just seeing if I had any spares here. This is just the style of headband that's on the inside. So it's slightly wide there and it goes a little bit narrower towards the end. But the way that you sew up the headband, it means it is quite wide. So I'll show you, it is quite a wide sort of headband. And you can just make out the headband that's inside, and then you've got that lovely knot detail. My hair's all messy now. So that's one for me. And then Lola really enjoyed choosing. Some of them have got a clip on the end. I'm just going to say that now because I need to hand sew the end of it. I'm going to be catching up on MasterChef later on this evening. So I'm going to be hand sewing the ends of the headbands because I've got a few episodes to catch up on. So she chose this one that's got pot plants all over it. And then I had a scrap piece of this poplin that I got from, I think I got this from Faye Studio Jetson when she was selling fabrics. And it's got children all over it. That one's going to be for me because I've got a skirt made out of this fabric, and I think it'd be really cute to wear this headband when I wear that skirt. So I really love that. Again, it's got the clip on the end because I need to finish sewing the end. You hand sew the end of it. Then Lola has chosen this fabric. It was a fat quarter from So Hilly Jane, and it's got deers all over it. I did sew lots. I said that I was going to use this fabric for me for a headband because my class is called Tiger Class, and that's exactly what I've done. So this is going to be my headband. So yeah, I don't know what outfit I'm going to wear it with yet, but that's for me. And then Lola chose this one that's got cute sloths all over it. And then again, this one's for me. It's like I'm sewing one for her, one for me, one for her, one for me. Because again, I've got a skirt in this Frida Kahlo inspired fabric. So that's going to be one of mine. Then Lola chose, I'm just trying to find the ones that she chose. This one, which has got owls and birds and rabbits all over it. And then she chose this pot plant one as well. And then I've got a couple of friends that I'm going to be giving headbands to as well, because that's quite a few for myself and also Lola. So I've got this absolutely beautiful one. I'm quite tempted to keep this for myself because I just love the colours in that. It's like a linen fabric. It's absolutely gorgeous. I absolutely love that. So again, I need to finish sewing the end of it, but I think I'm going to give that to a friend. I have got a summer dress made in this Frida Kahlo fabric. That's going to be for me. And then these ones I'm going to gift to friends. So I've got this gorgeous floral one. And then I've got this one, which I have got a blouse in this fabric. But I am going to gift this to somebody. I'm not going to keep that one for myself. This one I am going to keep for myself because I love the lemon print. I think it's absolutely gorgeous. And again, I love how bright it is and that pop of colour. I think it's absolutely gorgeous. I don't wear headbands often enough, but they are a really nice sort of detail to an outfit. And then finally, this one is using that viscose crepe that I used to sew up my Mabel dress, and I'm going to gift that to somebody as well. So I'm just going to take them into work with me and see which ones my friends would like to choose for themselves. I've really enjoyed sewing up these headbands, and I've definitely got plans to sew up a few more. They were quite a speedy make, and I think that they make a really great gift as well. So I'm definitely going to keep that as a pattern that I'll go to time and time again to sew up headbands, and then also a go-to pattern that I'll use to sew up scrunchies as well. And then I also talked about this pattern a few weeks ago, and also in my Selfless Sew vlog where I shared lots of different ideas. I talked about using the Waves and Wild baby bandana bib because I've got a couple of friends who are having babies, so I wanted to have a go at sewing up some bibs because I thought they'd be a really cute gift to pass on. So I had a go at sewing up quite a few, and again, they're really easy to sew up and super cute. So I've sewn one up using, I think they're all So Hayley Jane fat quarters actually. So this one, which is a monochrome black and white, and then it's just got white snaps on the back. Then I've got this one, which is a blue leaf print baby bandana bib. Again, it's just got blue snaps on the back. Two in the same fabric because this fabric is so cute. This actually was a fabric from Face Studio Jepson. It's got koalas all over it, so I've just sewn two in that gorgeous fabric. And I just went for grey star snaps on the back. And then this was a fat quarter from So Hayley Jane, a yellow floral fat quarter. And then the final one was using some canvas fabric, but it's a soft canvas from Felicity Fabrics. And again, that's just got grey fastens on the back. Really cute, really straightforward to sew up. You've literally got two pattern pieces. So you have the bib shaped pattern piece, and you cut two of them out, and then you put them together, right sides together, stitch all the way around, leave a little gap on one edge so you can pull it through. Make sure that you've got all of the edges pushed through and neat. Give it a press, and then you stitch, you top stitch all the way around, and then you add your snap fastens, and hey presto, you've got a really cute little bib. I think it's absolutely gorgeous and super speedy to sew up as well. So I'm really looking forward to passing those bibs on as well. We had a go, I'm just looking for where it's been put. There was another one actually. We had a go at putting it on to see what it would look like. But I obviously don't have any babies in my house. My girls are too old. So we used a dragon doorstop. Dragon doorstop or dinosaur doorstop actually. I'm not quite sure whether it's a dragon or a dinosaur. Here it is, looking very cute in a pink gingham bib, and I had to use yellow snaps, but I quite like that pop of yellow. So yeah, that's what the bib looks like. A little bit too big for the dinosaur. I think it's a dinosaur, a little bit too big for the dinosaur. And then the final thing that I've been sewing, these were a bit of an experiment because I wasn't quite sure what the outcome of the bag would be, because it was a draft it yourself pattern. So it's a pattern that's been released by Hand London, and it's their Ruffle bag, and they give you instructions on how to draft the pattern for yourself. I've got plans to have a go at sewing up some smaller ones for Ruby and Lola, and these two were just an experiment using fabric that I had where I just had like offcuts left over from projects. So the first one, I'm going to take both of these to work. So these are for the children in my class. We've got a home corner. They love using that old handbags and things, so I know they're going to absolutely love using these bags when I take them to school. So the first one is using a gorgeous lilac gingham fabric, and then I just put a prim snap fasten on there so they can stuff all of their important things when they're going out shopping or going to the cafe or taking the baby out for a walk, whatever it is they want to do, and they need a little bag. I just love how cute it is. I think it's the perfect little sort of size of a bag. This is quite flimsy because it was just a really lightweight gingham fabric. The next one that I used, the next one that I sewed up, I used a canvas, so it is a little bit more sort of sturdy. But this was just an experiment, so I'm definitely going to take this to school. But there's enough room in this to fit like a purse and a phone and your keys. So it is a pattern that you draft yourself. It's got a ruffle detail. And then you've got, I can't remember what they call it, a gusset, I think they call it. So there's a bit of sort of volume in the size of the bag. And then on the front and the back, you've got this cute ruffle detail that goes all the way around. And then it's also lined. So for the lining for this one, I just had some, again, quite lightweight cotton poplin. I think I got from a local shop to me with strawberry print all over it. So I think that makes quite a cute bag. So that's the first one. And then the second one is using a canvas fabric that I got from Felicity Fabrics. The fabric was given to me because I'm writing up a blog using the fabric to make the Kokowawa Crafts hazelnut backpack, and I just had an offcut of it, so I thought I'd see what it was like. And this one I've gone for a bit of pattern clashing, so we've got this gorgeous pink gingham fabric as the ruffle, and then the canvas fabric for the main part of the bag, and then I've used the gingham fabric on the inside of the bag as well, and then I've just used a green prim snap fasten and the same on the other side, and then you've got the cute handles as well. And again, it's the same size as the first one, and I think it's perfect for like popping your purse in there and also popping your phone in. The instructions don't tell you how to put a zip in, but I think it would be quite easy to put a zip along the top if you wanted to, just to make it a little bit more secure. But it's a super cute pattern, and you could draft the pattern so it was a much bigger bag if you wanted to, that you could go for a tote size bag, or you could do it much smaller as well if you wanted to. Really enjoyed sewing it up, and actually drafting the pattern, it wasn't that tricky, and I know that the children in my class are going to love filling these with all kinds of things when I take them into work next week. So lots and lots of things that I've been making for other people. A couple of headbands that are just too lovely, so I'm going to keep those for myself. And then I had my True Bias Riley dungarees, and I just needed to put the buttons and the buttonholes on them. So I had the lilac ones. The needle cord with the strawberry print, I still need to put buttonholes on, and I still need to add the buttons. I'm going to do that this afternoon. But these ones I've worn to work, got lots and lots of compliments, and they're definitely going to be sort of a star make in my wardrobe. Very, very comfortable and super practical for school as well. So that's everything that I have been busy making. I've really, really loved sewing up the headbands, just in case you can't tell with the amount of headbands that I actually got round to sewing up. They were really enjoyable to sew up, really fun to make, and I think that they are really cute to wear as well. So very excited about that, and Lola loves the ones that I've made for her too. So I had some fabric that I wanted to share with you. So thinking about the Sew Recreate the Look project that I was talking about, I did buy some ripstop fabric, but I didn't like the shade of blue. It wasn't the right kind of blue colourway, so I ordered some from eBay and it has arrived. It's more of a turquoise blue, but I think this fabric is going to go with the other fabrics that I had, which I think are in here actually. So I've got that turquoise blue and yellow, and then red, and then green, which was a little bit more neon than I thought, but I think they work really nicely together. And then there's a pink. So these are going to make the really cute jackets that I wanted to sew up for the Sew Recreate the Look. Somebody suggested the cozy jacket pattern, which I think is a brilliant idea. So I'm going to go with the cozy jacket as the starting point of the jacket, and then I'm going to work out how I can add a hood. And I might extend it ever so slightly, but that is the pattern that is the closest, I think, to the original image, and it's a pattern that I've already bought. So thank you if you suggested the cozy jacket. I think that's a great idea, and it's one that I'd totally forgotten about. And then the other fabric I couldn't resist from Sew Me Sunshine. Now I can't remember what the fabric was called, but look how beautiful this fabric is. It's absolutely gorgeous. I've gone for the mint colourway. I think there was a pink colourway. It's got a texture to it, and it's sort of metallic-y and shiny, and then in some places it's a little bit matte. It's got this absolutely gorgeous texture to it. As soon as they shared it in their stories, but then they also shared it in a video, I went and bought some straight away. I'm going to use it to sew up a jacket. Not sure on the pattern yet. It needs to be a jacket that's lined, because this fabric does feel a bit scratchy. It's a little bit lightweight, but I just think this would make a really gorgeous jacket. I was thinking a blazer, possibly either the Friday Pattern Company Heather blazer, or I've got the Nina Lee Richmond blazer pattern. They're both lined jackets, so maybe one of those. I'll put an image in of what the fabric is called, because I can't remember what it's called, I'm afraid. But yeah, I bought a couple of meters. I think I might have got 2.5 meters, so I've definitely got enough, if not 3 actually. It looks like there's loads here. I've definitely got enough to turn it into a blazer of some sort, but I just couldn't resist it. It's absolutely gorgeous. They have still got some of this left, and I think there was like a baby pink colourway. They've still got some of that left as well. They had this absolutely beautiful pink fabric that had like circles as a texture on it. Absolutely gorgeous. I've managed to resist that fabric so far, but I could just see that as a trouser and blazer combo. I just think it'd look absolutely gorgeous for spring, summer, but I have resisted buying that because I think I'd need probably about 4 meters of fabric, so it would be quite pricey. So at the moment I've just settled with this beautiful fabric. It's absolutely gorgeous, and I'm so excited about turning that into a jacket that I think would be perfect for like a summer outfit. I just couldn't resist how beautiful that fabric is. And then I've got a couple of patterns to share with you. So Alma, who works for Sew Over It, shared a houndstooth jersey Estelle dress, and it's absolutely gorgeous. If you don't follow her already, she sews some absolutely beautiful clothes. I'll link her Instagram down below, but I'm sure you do follow her already. Anyway, she shared this absolutely gorgeous black and white houndstooth Estelle dress, and it was absolutely beautiful. And as soon as I saw it, I went and bought the Estelle dress. I have ordered some fabric from Felicity Fabrics that I'm hoping to turn into the Estelle dress. I'm hoping it's the right kind of I'm hoping it's got the right kind of weight to it and the right kind of drape to the fabric, but we'll see. But I've definitely got plans to sew up a couple of the Estelle dress. They're beautiful. When I saw Alma's, I then went and looked at the hashtag, and I've seen so many gorgeous versions of the pattern. So the pattern is called the Estelle dress, and it's by Sew Over It. It comes in sizes UK 6 to 30. It's designed for knit fabrics, and there's a few variations that you can sew up. So in terms of fabrics, they recommend light to medium weight knit fabrics. You can sew up long sleeved, 3/4 length sleeves, or short sleeves. It's in between a midi and a maxi length, and then it's also got side slits for ease, I guess, of movement, but the side slits look absolutely gorgeous. And then it's got this really gorgeous like tie detail on the front of it as well. It's really beautiful. It looks like secret pajamas, and I'm very excited about giving the pattern a go. So hopefully that fabric will arrive next week, and maybe next weekend I can get the fabric cut out and get one of those sewn up. And then the other pattern that I have got, I got it copy shop printed at the Fold Line, and I've printed the instructions, and it is the Nina dress by Fibre Mood. I absolutely love this. That's probably not the best sort of image of the pattern because it's black and white, but it's absolutely gorgeous. It's got such beautiful detail. I just absolutely love like the front and the back, absolutely gorgeous. They describe it as a winged beauty with an empire waist. The elegant bodice features a plethora of pleats that alluringly fan out towards the sleeve hem, and the effect is accentuated with a plunging V-neck at the front. The back dazzles with a square keyhole bound at the top with a delicate tie. Every detail counts. The high waistband handsomely gives waist definition, and the gathers below the waistband give way to a subtle bell skirt. To top it off, there are side seam pockets to up the practicality factor. So this is the front part where you've got all these gorgeous, what did they say out there are pleats? I think they are, yeah. Lots and lots of pleats. They look time consuming, but I'm very excited about giving that a try. And then this is the back detail. So it's got this sort of really deep kind of square neck on the back, and then you've got this tie detail at the top as well. And then the back has got elastic in the waistband. So I'm really looking forward to sewing this up. It comes in sizes 4 to 32. And then in terms of fabric recommendations, it says Nina works best in a woven fabric. A structured fabric like a poplin or batiste will result in a more statement dress. If you want the dress to turn out soft and swishy, select a fabric with a fluid drape like a silk satin, double gauze, viscose crepe, or muslin. I'm really looking forward to giving this pattern a try. I've seen so many gorgeous versions. The sleeve detail looks really beautiful as well. It just looks really light and airy. And I just love this front detail. I think it looks absolutely gorgeous. So I have dug out lots of fabrics from my stash. And the first one that as soon as I saw that pattern, I instantly thought this fabric would be perfect for that pattern. It's this gorgeous green and floral fabric that I got from Rainbow Fabrics ages ago. As soon as I saw this fabric, I fell in love with it. I love the large scale flowers. I love the green. I love the pink and the green together. I think it's absolutely gorgeous. So this is definitely going to become the Fibre Mood Nina dress. And then I got this fabric years ago, probably about 4 years ago, from a D-stash. It's an absolutely gorgeous like paisley print fabric, and it's got this gorgeous green background, and again it's got the oranges and the pinks, which I just think work so nicely with a green background. I got this from a D-stash, and I've got a good 3 meters, I think. So I think this would work really nicely as the Fibre Mood Nina dress as well. And then the final fabric I've dug out, I'm not sure if I am going to turn this into the Nina dress, but I've had this for absolutely ages. You've probably seen lots and lots of people with this fabric. I think this was from Stitch and Ink Fabrics. It's this gorgeous gingham. I think I'm holding it upside down actually. It's this gorgeous gingham fabric that's a pastel colourway, and then it's got all these cute little hearts. So I thought this would make a really lovely summer version of the Nina dress as well. So I'm going to get the first one cut out and sewn up and see what that looks like and how it feels, and then if I absolutely love it, which I think I am going to absolutely love it, I'll get the other 2 cut out and sewn up too. I'm very, very excited about trying that one. So that was all of the patterns and fabrics that I wanted to share with you today. And then I've also seen over on Instagram a challenge that is running from the 25th of April to May the 25th. There's no prizes or anything, it's just for fun. But Love to Sew podcast are encouraging us to dig out our whips and sew them up. So there's a hashtag Love to Sew Whips, and we're being encouraged to sew up our work in progress projects which we've put to one side for whatever reason, dig them out, get them sewn up and get them finished, and share images and tag Love to Sew podcast and use the hashtag Love to Sew Whips. I thought that was a really great motivating challenge to get involved in. And my True Bias Riley dungarees, which are sat here, that's going to be the kick up the bum, to just get the buttonholes done and get the buttons inserted. And then I've got a couple of other projects that I know that I just need to get on with and sew them up. I've had them cut out and in my little packs for months. I think there's a few projects in there that have been cut out for years, so I need to dig them out and get them sewn up. And then I always like to finish my videos with some sewing plans. So I'm definitely going to have a go at turning this gorgeous fabric into the Fibre Mood Nina dress. So I'm going to get that cut out this afternoon. Then I have got the sweatshirting fabric that I got from Pound Fabrics. I'm going to get that cut out into a jumper, and I'm going to sew up my Sew Recreate the Look, my first project, the jumper, which is based on the tassel jumper. Put an image in now. I need to get that cut out and sewn up. I don't think that will take too long. I've got all of the ripstop fabrics here. I don't think I'm going to make a start on that coat yet. I think that might be a May half-term project. I don't want to rush it. I want to make sure that I get every detail correct on that coat because I'm really excited about that project. Then I've got the lightweight denim that I got from Pound Fabrics that I want to get the I Am Sunshine jeans cut out. I don't know if I'll get around to getting them sewn up this week, but I definitely want to get those cut out. And then I have also got a Sabina skirt. I think I've shown this in quite a few of my videos. I've had it cut out for a couple of months. I've got a little pomegranate Sabina skirt that's in like a black crepe fabric that's got poppies all over it. It's been cut out for ages. I need to get that sewn up as well. And that's ready to go, and it's quite a straightforward make as well. So I don't know why I keep putting that off. So I want to get that finished as well. And then obviously I've got all my headbands to hand sew the ends of as well. So lots of things to keep me busy. Thank you as always for watching. I hope you've enjoyed hearing what I've been getting up to, seeing some of the things that I've been busy sewing. Please let me know in the comments what your favourite thing was and what you're working on at the moment. If you've enjoyed this video, please do give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, I'd really love it if you could hit that subscribe button because you'll get notified of when I bring out my next video. Thank you as always for watching. Take care, and I'll be back soon with another video. Bye.